What up, though? What up, though? What up, though, y'all? Happy Sunday. Hope everybody having a great Sunday out there. Hey, what's going on? Think we might have a pretty good week this week, y'all. What happened to these charts? Trying to get my stuff situated right quick. Hey, you guys, and also if you guys have any pairs that you want to see marked up and things like that, let me know. We go ahead and mark them up. Also, another thing I want to let you guys know, I'm gonna probably be starting a Telegram chat this week. That way we can all kind of communicate with each other back and forth, and we can also collaborate with each other as well. So it's always good, for each other to kind of bounce, ideas, energy, positivity, all of that stuff off each other. If we see some confluences in the market, we can kind of communicate with each other. What y'all think about that? Y'all think a Telegram chat would be pretty cool? Let me know. Cool. Yeah, Eric, we definitely gonna do that. I'm gonna start it up this week. Alright, y'all. We're gonna probably wait one more minute, and then we're gonna go ahead and jump into these charts, y'all. Alright, cool. We're gonna go ahead and jump into it, y'all. Y'all know how we do. We always start off with prayer. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for this day. I want to thank you for life, health, and strength. Lord, I want to thank you for everyone who will be on this live this evening or this afternoon. Lord, we pray that anything said will help someone financially. We pray that this could be a resource and a tool that can help someone become better in their strategies. And overall, Lord, we know that, all wisdom and knowledge come from you. And Lord, we want to thank and praise you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, y'all, let's hop into it. Hey, Sister Beck, I see you up in there. You know what? A Discord probably would be better, because you know what? We can probably do more things with a Discord. So I'll probably do a Discord instead. Yeah. Thanks for putting that in the chat, because I think that would be a good idea. Yeah, I'll definitely do a Discord. That way I can have different channels within the Discord for different things. We can have a channel for indices, metals, regular pairs, motivation, strategies, all of that kind of thing. So yeah, we'll definitely, we'll do a Discord. I'll go ahead and set that up this week, and I'll definitely have that Discord out there. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and jump into it, man. I'm excited for this week. Like I said, I think we're gonna have some good opportunities this week. So let's kind of look at Forex Factory just to kind of see where we at. So we can see today, like I said, I don't really take a lot of trades on Sunday unless it's something that really stands out. But as we can see, today is a French presidential election And so, you know, Euro is pretty much, you know, they ain't really doing too much today. NZD and AUD, they got bank holidays. Let's kind of see what's going on tomorrow. Euro, the German info business climbing. That's about 3 a.m. during the London session. We got some action on CAD pairs around 10 a.m. Central tomorrow. I'm curious, what is that? House of Commons thing on financial material. Okay. As a head of the central bank which controls short-term rates, has more influence over the nation's currency. Okay. Alright. So CAD pairs tomorrow about 10 a.m. Central might have a little bit of action. Tuesday about 7:30 we might see a little something on USD. So be mindful of that. And then that night we got AUD news. So for those who trade gold and AUD, those have confluences with each other because Australia is like almost one of the biggest importers of gold and things like that. So they deal with gold a lot. So when this happens about 8:30 on Tuesday, we should see some fluctuation with gold as well. So be mindful of that if you guys trade gold. So this will happen during the Asian session. Wednesday, look like some regular action on Wednesday, but JPYs, I don't really know a time, so maybe later on in the week they might post a time at which this JPY news might pop off. Thursday, we got some USD news that's going to be going on. What is this? Change in inflation adjustment value of all goods and services produced in the economy. Okay. It's reported in an annualized format, quarterly change for time. Okay. I don't really know what that means. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm not gonna even act like I do. But all I know is Thursday at 7:30 we should have some USD news. I'm gonna probably research this a little bit more because I like to understand what moves the market. So, but right now I don't know. I really don't know. Look like Thursday will be a bank holiday for JPY, so JPY might be a bit stagnant on Thursday. Friday might see a little action during the London session with Chef. And then of course 7:30 we got some USD news. Yeah, that's what we're looking at as far as news, you guys. All right, let's jump into the charts. Like I said, if you guys have any pairs that you guys want to see marked up and things like that, just go ahead and put them in the chat. I'll be happy to mark them up. All right, so let's start off with GU. All right, on the weekly time frame, we can see that this thing is bearish. Let's see. Start from this point here. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we're due for a lower high on this weekly time frame. But from a weekly perspective, I don't want to do a fibs on that because it'll take a long time for that to kind of play out. But one of the things I do notice right off the bat is we got this level of supply that needs to come back and get tested. So we're gonna keep it real simple. We're not gonna complicate anything. We're gonna keep it extremely simple on what the market is gonna do for us or what we possibly can get within the market. And then we also have this huge weekly imbalance right here at the bottom of this candle that needs to come back and get tested right here. All right, so let's drop it to the daily and see what we have. So I like this because it's in confluence with these candles right here for this imbalance. I mean, it can possibly come all the way up here, which will, possibly test this level of supply. So I'll actually move my supply down to this area. But seeing that these candles are over here in this area here, I think price might test this and maybe give us a few pips to the downside before it continue up. But like I said, it possibly will blast through the supply because right now we're pretty much at a lower low. And so we're due for a lower high. So if we look at this from a daily perspective, we got this high, lower low, lower high. So let's drop to the 4 hour to kind of look at price action. Pretty much almost the same things. We can't really tell what it's going to do because it haven't really given us a pullback yet or anything like that. But if we kind of look at it from here, let's just say if the market did decide to start pulling back at this point, you know, we can throw our fibs on here and see that, you know, price will possibly come back into this area. So like I said, there's nothing really that I would probably move or look to with this particular pair until it actually starts to pull back. So with that, I'll probably put an alert right here. Let me see, GBP, USD, GBP, what am I doing? BP, USD, approaching POI. And this is at 1.29258. That way, if it comes back into this area, I can, you know, kind of understand when it's coming back into this area. And so from there, I'll also see a pullback. That way we can start, you know, accurately looking at our fibs and we can kind of see where the market is going to take us from there. But right now, that's all I kind of have on GU. I don't have a lot because it hasn't really given us a pullback and it's kind of like in the middle of no man's land. One of the things I do see though, however, I can see that it actually did stop at this mid-level right here. It broke this mid-level. Which will actually let me know where, well, this is actually covering, I can't see it, but this is 1.28500. So like I said, this is a mid-level, so price respects whole numbers and mid-levels. So I'll be curious to see exactly what, you know, what it do at this point. You know, it might come back, it might come down to this bank level here, 1.28000. We don't know, we'll see exactly what happens. So that's pretty much what I have on GU. Let's go ahead and keep it moving. All right, so I kind of had EU partially marked up from last week. I didn't want to start this particular deal off naked. However, because I already have some pretty good marks on there, we can kind of capitalize on what the market is doing right now. All right, Eric. Hey man, hope you feel better, man. I see you not feeling good. Hope you feel better. All right, y'all. Let's hop into this EU. So with EU last week, it was a couple of moves that I was able to capitalize on. However, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm moving way too fast, y'all. Let's look at this thing. So as you can see, we're bearish on this EU pair right now. I kind of want to move my supply down here. Well, no, I'm sorry. That's a weekly supply right there. So we can notate this entire area right here for a weekly. I'll keep it purple. And then we know as it get higher, that's a daily. You know what? I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm not gonna do all of that extra stuff. We can see where the market is taking us from a weekly perspective, but if we drop down to the daily, this is a daily supply zone here. I'm not gonna complicate it. And so also in this area here, we have a continuation order block, which is a bearish, bullish, bearish on the daily as well. We can see price has blasted through this area here, which gave us some liquidity in this area. It took out liquidity in this area, I mean. So for example, we had this bearish order block. Price came up, took out whoever had stop losses up here, and it continued to the downside. If we drop it down to the 4 hour, we can see that price gave us a bit of a break of the structure here, and it's still continuing down. So one of the things I want to see, and as we can see, it also gave us a head and shoulders. But one of the things I want to see, if price breaks this area here, then I know this was just a liquidity move where it just came up, took out liquidity here from people or traders putting their stop loss above this, and it continued to the downside. However, if this don't break this area here, then this is actually a true break of structure. Whereas if we throw a fibs on this, we can see price came down to this area, which is a 15-minute demand zone. And let's look at what price actually did. If we come to the 15-minute, because I had this marked up, we can see we have this small order block right here. Let me make this bigger so you guys can see it. There's a small order block right here with also this imbalance right in this area. And if we look, we can see that price literally came down, hit that area right there, and started back to the upside. So because we see that, let's go to the 1 minute and see if we had a break of structure somewhere, which we actually did. So if you can see, we got high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. So this area here was our 1 minute break of structure. Going to the upside, it broke structure, and then it actually retested already. This thing retested extremely fast, so and a lot of people missed that. So it came down to this area in here. It didn't quite close this imbalance all the way. However, so with that being known, we still have this area that possibly might come back to get retested right here. I'm gonna bring it up a little bit just to kind of cover this inefficiency right here. So we don't know. We'll kind of see what price does, but from the surface and what it looks like, it already kind of retested this area and is actually starting to shoot to the upside. So this might have been something that we missed. However, let's kind of see, because this thing is definitely staircasing. So what we can probably look to, it's a couple of things that we can probably look to notate this thing. We can see that we're staircasing in the down structure here. We can probably take a fibs and use our Fibonacci to, look for possible entries to the downside. Because like I said, this move up here possibly was a liquidity grab to continue to the downside. So we can look at this area right here. Sorry. We can look at this area right here as a supply on the 30-minute or the 15-minute, whichever one we're on. And price can possibly bounce off of this neckline area here that was on our head and shoulders, or possibly bounce off this supply, which is in confluence with our neckline. So we can kind of look for price to come up here, and we can possibly ride it back down just to kind of see exactly what price does on the 15 and the 1 minute. So for me, I'll probably put an alert right here just to kind of see what price does. EU approaching supply, 30-minute supply zone. And so this alert is right there at 1.08100, you guys. So in case you guys want to put a put an alert there. One of the things I'm gonna probably do as well, I'm gonna take a link. I'm gonna share a link from all of my markups today, and I'll put these links inside of the Facebook chat, and I'll also put this link inside of well, I can't put it on, but I can do a link in the bio for YouTube. I'm over here tripping. A link in the bio for for this YouTube channel. What I'll do, I'll post it in the description, links of all of my markups. That way, if you guys want to refer to it and things like that, you can see the alerts, you can see all of that kind of thing. All right, let's see. So I have an alert at 1.08100, you guys, for EU. That's pretty much what I have on EU. Like I said, it possibly can come up to this area, tap this level of supply, and continue to the downside. Or this could be that move where to continue to the upside. Because if it breaks this area right here, if it breaks this supply, then that's a break of structure on this 30-minute that we have here. Let me go to the 15-minute. I don't really trade the 30-minute that much. But yeah, if it breaks this area here, then we'll be looking at a break of structure going to the upside. So I actually will put another alert right here, and I'll call this my 15-minute break of structure. That way, if it does break structure, I'll know it was a true break of structure and we'll continue into the upside. EU 15-minute BOS. Okay. Hey, what's going on, Steph? All right, you guys. So let's go ahead and move on to UCAD. Let's check out the weekly time frame for this one. All right, you guys. So if we're looking at this pair with USD CAD, we can see. Let's take this out. Ugly market structure too. We did have a break of structure in this area right here. Price came down for a possible retest. Let's see if that's more than 50%, which I think it is. We throw our fibs on there, that's more than 50%. So it came down to this area here. So now, well, we can utilize this. So one of the things, I'm gonna also do another video on this, is mitigated zones. Do any of you guys know about mitigated zones or mitigated order blocks? And so basically, and I'll kind of explain to you guys what those are. No problem, no problem. Just a bet. And I'll kind of explain what mitigated zones are, you guys, because those will help you kind of understand as well in the market when supply or demand areas have been hit. So basically, I'll explain to you guys briefly what a mitigated zone is, and then I'll kind of do an in-depth video. So basically what it is let's just say if you have a break of structure somewhere and you have a supply or demand zone that you're waiting for price to hit. Once it comes back to that area and it wicks that area and then it continues to the upside or downside, whichever direction the market is going, then that area, that order block or demand or supply zone is mitigated because price has already came back and it's tapped that area, which gave an equilibrium in the market. So once that happens, it's mitigated, price can go on by this business. So sometimes I'll put this here to let me know that this area has been wicked and price is already starting to continue to the upside. So for me, on a bigger time frame, this area is mitigated. So now that I know that price more times than not might not come down to break this area and continue to the downside. And if it does, not saying that can't happen, if it does, then that'll totally change my entire bias. However, because this area here was mitigated, I'm looking for price to continue to the upside. But if we look at this on a daily time frame, we have a bit of consolidation as well, because you can see we starting to see equal highs and equal lows within the market here, and also an area here. So whenever you see areas that are consolidated, then there's Wyckoff that's present, And so with that, being that price came down to this area and started to go up, this indicates possibly a distribution, a Wyckoff distribution, or this can be a reaccumulation. So just to kind of let you guys know, for those who don't know about Wyckoff, so let's just say price is coming up like this. What it will do, it'll come to a buying climax at the top. It'll start consolidating. It'll start making these different patterns in a consolidated type range. And then what it'll do, the composite band being the banks, what they'll do, because a lot of sellers, a lot of traders, they'll try to put their stop losses in these areas up here. And basically what the composite man or the banks will do, they'll shoot price up, take out liquidity, and then price will come down. And so in the market, you have these equal highs and these equal lows in this area, in areas like this. And then Wyckoff plays in between these areas. And so that's how Wyckoff usually plays out. And so this area up here, that wick that takes all of the liquidity out, that's called the UTAD. In a distribution, it's called the UTAD. If it's an accumulation and it forms and it shoots to the bottom, that's called a spring. And so those areas like that, when we see these consolidations start to happen in the market, Wyckoff is present. And so it's present now. And you know, so for example, here, this area here would be our buying climax. This would be our BC. Let's see. Actually, this will be our buying climax, and I'll explain why. This here would be our automatic rally, which is an AR. This here would be a UT, which is an upthrust. Okay. And then other components that we have, this is a ST, which is a secondary test. So whenever we get an area that breaks our AR, that is considered as, when we're looking from a distribution perspective, this here is considered to be a MSAL, which is called a minor sign of weakness, and then it kind of shoots up. So because this price here got a little bit higher than this UT, this possibly can be a UTAD, that thing that kind of fakes people out. However, I'm not completely sure, because there still are some other components that can happen within this, but that's from a daily perspective. So while we're looking at that, let's actually look at lower time frames to see what we can kind of capitalize off of currently right now. Okay, so let's look at this thing, you guys. So from a 4-hour perspective, we can see that we had down structure. And then we had a break of structure. Okay. So we had a break of structure in this area right here. Now let me make this bigger so you guys can see it. So on a 4-hour time frame, we had a break of structure. Okay. From here, let's look at what price. Let's look at what price kind of retested to. So if we come here, we can see price came back in this area and hit this inefficiency right here perfectly. Took out this imbalance. However, that's not where price stopped. It came down and tapped this inefficiency first, and it came back and it hit this demand zone right up in this area here. So this area here, you guys, is considered as mitigated. I hope that makes sense, because prices already come back to hit this demand zone after this retest. So now this zone here is considered as mitigated. So if we drop down to the 15-minute, we can see prices already, you know, kind of did its thing or whatever, because we had this staircase on the 15-minute, we had a break of structure. We also had a retest on the 15-minute. Now it's already out of there. So now we kind of sort of have to wait for price to give us a pullback, because this is already in no man's land. I wouldn't even attempt to touch this pair because of, you know, it's in huge bullish momentum. But we can see though that it just passed this bank level. So one of the things that we could look for, if price possibly come back to retest, we can tell that we have a demand zone down here, not knowing if price will get all the way back down there from this perspective, because that's 240 something pips. So that'll take a lot of momentum for it to get down there from a 4-hour perspective. If we drop it down to the hourly, let's look at something for a second, because I can see that price started to give us a few exhaustions up here. So if price came down to this area, this will probably be my my demand zone that I'm looking at, because I can see, and that's the 50% as well. I could see that, you know, we have these continuation order blocks, bullish, bearish, bullish, bullish, bearish, bullish, and then it kind of shot price up. So this is the last area that I see that shot price up. So I'll be looking for something to come down in this area. We'll see exactly what it does. We're not gonna force it or anything like that. I'm gonna lift this demand zone up for this candle right here. And then for me, this 1.26200, I'll probably set an alert right here. USD CAD approaching POI. And so you guys, one of the things that I wanted to tell you guys as well, one of the things that really helped me in the market as far as my patience is I mark these things up from a weekly perspective, and I put these alerts. And then a lot of times I don't necessarily go back to look at the market. I might take a peek at it maybe once or twice, but because I'm already setting the different things that I'm looking for, I don't really look at it until price comes and hit my alert. That way I don't have to look at the market every single day or look at the market every single hour. And so with me, one of the things that I've learned is you do not have to trade every day to be profitable. Just set your parameters, you know, from a daily perspective or weekly perspective at the beginning of the week, and then let price come to you, because price has to get there. You know, it has to get there. So if you have 5 different pairs that you guys are looking at that you really want to trade, find those different confluences. Price will get there eventually. Once it hits your alert, now you can start looking at it and start dialing down to your smaller time frames to kind of start focusing on your entries. Okay. Let's look at G-Chef. This is a pair that I marked up, I believe it was Thursday night. And so let's actually look exactly where this pair is right now. We can see that it's still bearish. So we got a high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And then we had a break of structure on the daily time frame in this area here. And price is starting to come back to actually, you know, we got a couple of imbalances in this area. We have an imbalance here. Let me move this up a little bit. I say this is an imbalance here because we have price action here that stopped, and also here. And sometimes imbalances respect these type of moves within the market, but then we also got our main imbalance down here from a daily perspective that I'll be looking for as well. And so price might come and blast through these and come down and hit this demand zone, because this demand zone is what pushed price up to actually take out this short-term high right here. So whenever you have a demand zone that takes out short-term highs, or a supply zone to take out short-term lows, then those are good areas that you can look at for your point of interest. So for me, let me see, what is this? So I'll put an alert possibly at this 1.22600. There's a couple of areas that I see that we can probably capitalize off of. Let's see, GBP Chef approaching imbalance 1. Yeah, I'll say that, imbalance 1. And I'm gonna set this at 1.22600. And let me show you guys something else as well. Hold on, I'm gonna set another alert here at this 1.212000 area, just for this one down here. And I want to show you guys something as well. Let me see, GBP Chef approaching imbalance 2. I'll just say POI. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it complicated. Approaching POI. What's going on? approaching POI. Moses, get it together. All right, let me show you guys this. So on the 1 hour time frame, one of the things that we can possibly capitalize off of, as opposed to just waiting for price to come all the way down here, we see on an hourly perspective, price was bullish. We had a break of structure, and then in this area, we still would like to see price come up a little bit more, because it came up to this area here, but I would like to see price come up in this area, possibly to this 61.8 area before it continues down. Because if we drop down to the 15 minute, we can tell that we have a supply zone right in this area right here. And so with that, this is right around our 61.8, which is a really, really good area for price to bounce off of. So I would definitely want to see price come up here. And so with that, I already had an alert at, let me move this up a little bit, 1.23600. And so with that, okay, the music is a little too high. Okay, I'll turn it down. Thank you for that. Okay. Yeah, I just turned the music down. Let me know if that's okay. So I got an alert at 1.23600. And hopefully price can come up to this area and we can probably catch a continuation going down to these areas down here. Because just think about this. If price can come up to this area here, tap off of this supply zone and possibly come down to this area here, we possibly can catch, I mean, that's 200 something pips going to the downside. Down to the demand zone, that's 239 pips. Now on a pair like G-Chef, you actually get more money of your for your dollar when you actually trade this. For example, for USD pairs, if you trade a 0.1, which is $1 per pip, you get $1 per pip. But with this particular pair, I believe it is $1.34 per pip if you trade G-Chef, and I'll confirm that. But I do know G-Chef, it pays more than just a regular dollar when you trade this one. So that's one of the things that I'll possibly be looking for with G-Chef on this particular pair. Okay, no problem. Glad the music. Thank you for letting me know about the music. All right, you guys. Let's move on to my favorite pair. Let's move on to gold. Let's see what we got with gold. One of the things about gold, it gave a lot of pips last week, and I didn't catch anything. I didn't capitalize on any of this. And you know, sometimes you have stuff marked up and you wait for something and then you miss it. Oh, it's so frustrating. But one of the things you can look at as, you know, a good way, I guess, to look at it is, if you missed it, you didn't lose any money. You could have possibly missed out on, you know, making some money, but you didn't lose any money as well. Because one of the things with gold that I was looking for, I had took a fibs on this. I believe I was on the 4 hour, and I was looking at price action here. I didn't look at this long wick here, but I took a fibs from up here all the way down here, and I was looking for price to wick off my 61.8, and that's exactly what it did. It wicked off of this area, and then gold literally dropped about 600 pips. Look at that. That thing dropped 600 pips. And so I was extremely frustrated. I didn't catch any of this, you guys. But yeah, it's always another day, always another opportunity. So let's kind of look at the market right now just to kind of see where it is. So as we can tell with gold right now, we had a break of structure on the 1 hour. Let's actually drop it down to the 1 hour and look at it. So as you can see, we had a high, our low, higher high. We had a break of structure in this area here. So with that being said, we can look at possibly taking this area here, bringing it down. So price didn't quite get to our 50%, which is another reason that I kind of missed, because you can see I had an alert here, gold approaching POI. So I actually missed it. It never got up to that area, so I actually couldn't you know, I missed all of that action. And it came up in this area, played around, and it just went on down. But as you can see how this thing actually completed the Fibonacci sequence, because, you know, a lot of times when we look at, you know, well, it almost did, but that's close enough. But whenever it gets down to the -27, I mean, that sequence is pretty much complete. And now it can come up, do another lower high or whatever, and continue on down for another sequence. So with this, if we kind of look at price action right here, bring this down here, we can see price came down to this area, wicked this area with this candle. So let's see exactly what price will do. We'll see if it come back up, but let's drop to the 15 minute to see if we can see, you know, price action a little bit more. Yeah, it's just the back. Yeah, it probably, I was expecting a huge, massive dump with gold. And so, yeah, that's something that I'll be waiting to see. Because like I said, I was waiting for it to hit that 61.8, and I really wanted to see that thing and probably sit in it for a while, but I missed it. So hopefully this can come back and I can catch something else. I can see that we're still in down structure, high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So we're looking for this thing to make another lower low from a 15 minute perspective. Let's look at this on a 15 from here down to this area right here. So it came up to this area, took out this inefficiency or this imbalance in the market right here. Took out this imbalance in the market, and then price continued on down. So we're looking for this thing to make another lower low. So with that, if we throw this Fibs back on here, I'll possibly be looking for price to come somewhere down here in the 124, 122 area. But we'll kind of see. I mean, because right now you can see price is moving sideways. It's consolidated a bit. So, you know, we just got to see exactly what it's going to do. And so that consolidation is a form of Wyckoff on a smaller time frame, a huge form of Wyckoff. But right now, I want to kind of wait and be patient and kind of see exactly what it's going to do. If it breaks this area, it'll let me know that price is possibly going to make its lower low. So that's one way from the 15 minute that I can tell where price is actually going and where it is within the market at that time. Gold breaks last low on 15 minute. That way it'll kind of let me know exactly what price is doing right now, because right now, like I said, it came up here and wicked this area here. Hold on 1 second though. Let me see something. Since we had this to come up here, let's go to the 1 minute for a second. Okay, this 1 minute time frame, it came up. Okay, so one of the things that I see with this, you guys, so check this out. So from a 1 minute perspective, we were in down structure like this here. Then we had a break of structure on the 1 minute right here. And so there might be an opportunity, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. We had a break of structure here, so this thing has to come back to retest. However, no, never mind. I say never mind is because you can tell that we were kind of sort of in up structure here. It broke structure on this area and then it retested to continue to the downside. So never mind that. Yeah. So like I said, from when I was talking initially, I do want to see this break of structure right here. Not break of structure. What am I talking about? This is our last low. So I'm gonna call that a short-term low. This last low, I wanna see this low break to be broken. That way we can kind of look to say, okay, price is continuing to the downside, and we'll look at it from there. If it breaks this area here, then this will be our 15-minute break of structure. And we can possibly look for a retest to ride price back up. Go 15-minute BOS. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay, there we go. And then what we can look at as well is we see we got this trend line right here. This is an hourly trend. That price is it's not all the way validated yet because we only have 2 touches. So it's not all the way validated because we need 3 touches for a validated trend. And so we could possibly see a price to come back up here, tap this trend, and continue to the downside. So I'll move this over a little bit more. That way we don't miss anything. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at with gold. So we can kind of trap price within these 2 areas to kind of see exactly where the market is going to go and possibly capitalize off of those. All right. So that's pretty much what I have for the week, you guys. Do you guys have anything that you want me to mark up? I do want to look at US 30 though. Because we caught a sell off of US 30 last week. That was a really good sniper entry. And I appreciate Kai for asking to have that marked up, which was this pair right here. I mean, this sell right here. It was really good. It was really good. Let's go ahead and look at US 30 and kind of see what it's doing right now. Good deal, good deal. I'm glad it's making sense. All right, you guys. So as we're looking at this thing with US 30, we can see that, you know what, let me put this back for a second. So this demand zone right here, we can see that price, is breaking this level of demand here. So you know what, I'm gonna actually remove that. So I want to see if price would actually come down to this area right here, because the US 30 right now is kind of in no man's land, and this thing is definitely falling, definitely dropping. So I have a demand level here, and I'll set an alert right here at 33,200. Let's see, US 30 approaching, I'm gonna say demand zone. Yeah, that's what we have with US 30, you guys. I mean, this one was pretty much already kind of marked up a little bit from about a week and a half or so ago. Because if we look at this from a big picture perspective, we can see that it broke structure, it came back to retest the supply zone, and now this thing is coming down. And what it will possibly do, it'll possibly take out all of this liquidity in this area. So it might hit this demand zone and pop back up. However, one of the things I'm thinking that it might do is it actually might take out this liquidity and give us a lower low. And from that perspective, we'll kind of see what it does when it gets down here. So I have an alert down here, and we'll kind of see what it does. Okay. Hey, Chef. All right, I'll go ahead and mark that up. What's going on, Ron? I'll go ahead and mark this A Chef up right quick. All right, let's look at this from a weekly perspective. See what price is taking us. Now I can see this thing had quite a few turns. Let's see. So we can tell initially this thing was in a down structure, huge drop, massive. Came back up, and we had a break of structure right here on the weekly time frame, right in this area right here. We had a weekly break of structure, okay? Then from there, what we can kind of see exactly what the market is doing. So then we have price to hit this demand zone right up in this area here. Let's see, right here. We had this demand zone that was mitigated because price has already tapped this area and it's starting to the upside. So we can actually change this to a mitigated zone because price, like I said, has tapped this area and starting to continue to the upside. All right, that's from a weekly perspective. So if we drop it down to the daily, ooh-wee, I see something as well, but it might take a while to get down there. Let me see something. So we have these two literally Marabozal order blocks here. These two candles are almost like equal in size. So one of the things that I usually do with things like this, I'll measure 50% from the smaller candle. And this green one to me is probably the smaller candle. And more times than not, what price will do, it'll come down and tap 50%. But I can see it didn't necessarily get all the way down there. But this is a bigger time frame anyway. Because usually you catch things like this on the 1 hour and below. And then what you can do is you can kind of set your buy limit or sell limit, however, whatever the direction is going. Put your price right up under the last, up under these candles, you know, possibly ride it up to the next price action. And so, like I said, it usually comes down, hit 50%, and then that thing usually takes off. However, this one didn't quite get down there because I don't trade these type of order blocks on bigger time frames like that, but it is interesting to see it, you know, on a bigger time frame. But as we can see, like I said, this zone has been mitigated and price is starting to continue to the upside now. So let's kind of see what we can possibly capitalize off of though, where price is right now. So see, we got a low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, previous high, and so we're still in up structure right now because this is the last higher low. So this will be our break of structure. If price decided to go to the downside, this is our daily, no, I'm sorry, 4 hour BOS in this area right here. Because we got, you know, this is our higher low. This is a, you know, the same, pretty much giving us equal lows at this point. This is our last higher high. And we can see that price has not broken this point yet. This is our last higher high at this point right here. So what we can do, you guys, we can turn this into almost like a retail trading type situation. Trading 101, support and resistance. So we're on the 4 hour. Let's go ahead and give us a resistance right here. Use a gray box like that. And basically what I'm doing, I'm taking it right here at this price action right here. Cover these wicks as well. And then I can also possibly capture this price action right here. Bam, just like that. This can be our trading range that we utilize for this particular pair. And we can just work within these parameters on the 4 hour. All right, so let's drop it down to the 1 hour and kind of look at what price is right now. So we can see that on the 1 hour, let's see something. Okay, price came up. We had higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Wait a minute, higher high, higher low, higher high. We had a break of structure, huge break of structure. And then we never came back to retest this area until we got here. So we can see it came all the way up to this area. It tapped this area, this order block right here, which is a bearish, bullish, bearish continuation order block. So this area here got mitigated. This was a supply zone. I'm gonna say this was mitigated. Let me just change it to a mitigated zone. I'm not confused myself. And I'll change these to blue. Light blue. Light blue. Okay. This area was mitigated. So retest, and now we see that we're starting in down structure. So one of the things that might happen with this, we just need to wait and see. We can tell that in this area down here, we also have a demand zone right here. And I'm gonna make this joker clear. I'm gonna make this demand zone clear because it's down at that area. So what price possibly can do, it can come down, tap this, and shoot to the upside. But then again, price can possibly break through the support that we have. And if that happens, that would be a 4-hour break of structure. Okay. So those are some of the things that we can look for in this area for price to kind of, you know, do its thing or whatever the case may be. You know what? So this don't look so sloppy because I don't like sloppy charts. I'm just going to move this. This is not a supply zone. I'm sorry. This is the demand zone. And I'll just make it blue like that. It's a demand zone, and I'll just move it all the way over. That way we understand that this entire area support, but it's also a demand zone because it's covering this order block right here. But if it breaks this area, it'll also be a break of structure as well. That way our charts look neat and we ain't got too much extra stuff on there. So we can set an alert possibly at this 0.69200. A chef, AUD, chef, approaching POI. So we can look at it like that. When it gets down to this area, it's actually almost down there right now anyway, when you kind of look at it. Let me drop to the 1 hour. Yeah, it's actually almost down there. So I possibly want to move this down a little bit more, maybe to 50. Yeah, 0.69, 50. And so once it get down there and kind of wick this area down here, we can kind of see exactly what price is going to do. And then from there, you know, we can probably capitalize off of something. But if we're looking at this from a 15-minute perspective as well, we can tell we got, you know, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. Price look like it's trying to give us another lower high, possibly, and to capitalize on something to take it all the way down to this area. I can see that we have an order block here, which gave us a level of supply right up in this area here. And so from there, price could possibly come back up here, tap this, and then continue to the downside. I definitely believe that price will get down here to this area. If it breaks this area here, if it breaks the supply zone, then we're getting a turnaround. This is a break of structure on a 15-minute. I'll be looking for a retest for a continuation to the upside. However, right now, my bias is that it'll come down to this area. So what we could do though, we can set another alert up here. AUD chef approaching supply zone. That way we can kind of capitalize in either direction and not just keep our bias one way. So if it comes up to this area, tap the supply zone here, we can possibly ride it down here. And just to kind of look at what the pip count is from there to there, about a good 40 pips. I mean, that's, you know, those are pips. All pips are good pips in my book. So that's what we're looking at. We possibly can catch something like that. Hey, you guys, do you you guys don't have any other, you know what, hold on one second. On the hourly, so we have this huge supply zone here. So I'm probably going to utilize this entire supply zone. But hey, you guys, that's pretty much what I have so far. Do you guys have any other pairs that you want to mark up? And like I was saying, I'm going to go ahead and create a Discord channel for us. That way we can all kind of collaborate on different pairs. We can bounce ideas off of each other because, you know, I learn off of you guys as well. You know, everybody see things different in the market. If you guys see something, you know, I have a channel within our Discord that, you know, we can put our markups in. You know, you can put your different pairs in and things like that. And like I said, we can all kind of collaborate off of that thing. You know, we all can learn off of each other, can grow, and, you know, possibly catch some pips together. But if there are no more pairs or anything you guys want me to mark up, hey, I appreciate you guys rocking with us. It's been great. I got more videos that I'm gonna drop this week. I apologize, it's been a little slow, but we just came out of Easter, and so with Easter, we're a Christian family, so Easter week is always crazy. Okay, we got a couple more pairs. We got EG and we got gold euro. So I'm gonna mark those two up before we cut out. Let's see, GBP. Let's go ahead and mark up EG. I used to trade this pair all the time, and actually, you guys, one of the things I want you guys to know, EG is probably that one pair that has the biggest pip count. Not pip count, I'm sorry. The biggest amount of profit. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe EG per pip is like, I think like $1.40 per pip or something like that. Like if you take a 0.1, I believe it's like $1.43 or something like that. EG has a lot of profit, so to speak. That's like one of the biggest profit pairs that you can trade. Because one of the things I want to show you, check this out. I had this right here, pairs to trade, worth money. When you come here, all of these pairs here are the pairs that has a lot of money, and EG was that one pair, was like the most money out of all of the pairs when you're trading it per pip. But all of these pairs here, these are the pairs that were either dollar for dollar or more than $1. Because you got some pairs, like for example, GA. If you trade GA and you take a 0.1, you only get 70 cents per pip with that one. And so all of these pairs here are either one for one, or it's actually more than $1 per pip when you trade it. So I thought I'd throw that out there. And I actually, my brother-in-law actually took an Excel spreadsheet, and I'll share that next time we're live, and I'll show you guys the pip count for each one of those pairs. But let's go ahead and jump into EG right quick. Let me remove a lot of this stuff, because I see that on EG, last time I looked at EG, there was Wyckoff that was playing out on this particular pair. Let me go ahead and remove all of this on EG. Okay, from a weekly perspective, let's see. All right, so on a weekly perspective, we can see we're in a downtrend, and it's a bit choppy, but we still have market structure. High, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, And we have a break of structure right here on the weekly time frame for EG. Right here. This is a weekly BOS. Okay. Drop it down to the daily. So we can see from a daily perspective, we have our retest. We got our fibs. We see price has already retested around the 78.6, and we have a mitigated zone here. Right there in that area right there. Okay. Now we can also see that we're in a possible consolidated range as well. We can tell that price is ranging. It's given some sort of equal lows and also equal highs as well. But we were in down structure, so we had a break of structure, and it's coming back. It mitigated this area here. So let's look at the 4 hour and kind of see what we're looking at. Okay. So from a 4 hour perspective, we can see that we had something like this. We had our breaker structure on the 4 hour right here. So with that being said, we can tell that we're starting to change our bias because it's in an up structure now. So because we're in an up structure, I'm looking for price to come back and retest. Now, what I would like to see possibly is for EG, we have a order block here that creates our demand zone. However, I can tell that we have an inefficiency in this area as well. So one of the things I will probably do in this area, because our inefficiency is right here and our demand zone is here, I'm gonna actually capture this entire area as opposed to just this candle. That way it'll let me know that this entire area here is my demand zone, and price can possibly come down, capture this inefficiency and the demand zone at the same time. I hope that makes sense, you guys. So with that being said, I'll probably set an alert right here about this 83,400 area. Let's see, EG approaching POI. Approaching our point of interest. Okay, so let's drop it down to the 1 hour to kind of see exactly what we're looking at as well. So pretty much, you know, same bias as what I'm looking at. You know, I want to see price come back to this area, because from an hourly perspective, we have, this was the last down candle which created this bullish, bearish, bullish, and for price to continue up. So from an hourly perspective, we have a smaller demand zone right here. And I'll probably make this, I don't know, probably purple or something. And I'll say this is a 1 hour demand zone. Okay, like so. And I'll probably make this purple, the purple box. That way it'll let me know that that one is different. Okay. This one here, I believe that was the 4 hour. Okay. So from there, that's what I'll be looking at. But we can possibly capitalize on price coming down as well. So let's check this out. So from a 15-minute perspective, we got market structure here. As you can see, we got a high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So what we can possibly do, wait for a break of structure right here. 15-minute break of structure. And this breakup structure right here is right at 0.83839. So for this breakup structure right here, I'm gonna go ahead and set an alert. EG 15-minute BOS, because if we get a breakup structure right here on EG, then we can possibly ride it down. We can wait for that breakup structure, give us that retest. But just from this area here, down here, it's about 54, 55 pips. And so like I said with EG, if you took a $1 per pip, you clearly gonna get more than $55 or whatever. You might mess around and get $62, $63 for this type of move because of the pip count with the money, you know, the ratio of money to pips on this particular pair. So that's what I would look for on this. Let me kind of zoom out and kind of look at it. Yeah, that's what I would look at for this particular pair. Price might come back up a little further, we never know. But right now, where the market is right now, this is our last higher low. So I'll look for a breakup structure and possibly ride it down to here. Once it hit this area here, then because overall we're in bullish momentum because we had a breakup structure here, once it tapped this area down here, then we possibly can ride it all the way up, which we'll be looking to actually target ultimately this level right here. This is our ultimate target right up here. Target this liquidity right up in this area right here. That's our ultimate target. Let's look at something. If we look at this on a weekly perspective, we see, and it's possibly higher than that. Yeah, but this, you know, from a weekly perspective, we're looking at 1.86 thousand. That's gonna take a long time to play out. But this will be if I was a swing trader, this will be the liquidity or the area in which I'll be targeting, which is right at 0.85 thousand. That's what I possibly would be looking at if I was a swing trader and I caught it down here. Okay. All right. Steph, I hope that helps on EG. That's what I have for EG. So let's go ahead and look at gold versus the euro. Okay, let's check it out, y'all. All right. So as we can see, you know, just it's pretty much identical to the other gold as well. So like, for example, if I came to gold, normal gold, USD on the weekly time frame, it's probably going to look exactly the same. Yeah, it does. But I know they move slightly different because this is gold versus euro. So let's look at it. One of the things right off the bat that I can see from a weekly perspective is we got some sort of a double top forming on this thing. So if you look at this, we got this area here and we got this area here. Let me move that. We can just kind of look at it like this. So we almost got like a double top or some sort forming. And so just like my bias is on the normal gold, I'm looking for price. I'm expecting price to drop and give us that massive drop because however, we just got to look at it. I'm wanting it to drop, but when we look at this thing from an overall big picture perspective, let's just look at this. This is a high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We don't know if this thing will get higher than this because in a macro perspective, gold is still bullish. It hasn't been bearish yet unless it breaks 1700. You know, we haven't seen them numbers. Last time we seen 1700, that was it was in March. So it's been a minute. So, you know, that's what we're looking at. We're still bullish. However, we can still catch some massive pips from where the price is right now. So if we kind of look at this thing, let's see, high, lower low, lower high, lower low, almost like a break of structure in this area right here. And so all of these things, kind of have their confluences with each other. So we had a break of structure, so we're looking for a retest, which is why I think price is going to drop, just like what Sister Beckwith said, looking for gold to drop, gold and oil. So I'm looking for price to possibly come down to this area right here, which is a bullish, bearish, bullish. This level of demand right here. Oh yeah. Which is gonna, it's gonna take some ways to get down there from a daily perspective. I mean, because like I said, down here that is 1750 area. We're still in, we're still. Oh, so these pricing metrics are different. I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about 1900. So this is gold versus euro. We're in 17. We're in the 17. So, okay, let me make sure I keep my mind right now. Think about gold versus US. Okay, so we got a break of structure. So we're looking for price to come back and test this area. Now, one of the things, since this is a daily area, this demand zone is huge. So I don't want it to be that big. So I want to kind of condense it on this 4 hour to possibly this area right here, because we have an imbalance and we have this demand zone. So I want to kind of cover a little bit of this imbalance as well. So that's the area I'm looking for price to possibly come back to. All right. So before we get down there, let's drop it to the 1 hour, kind of look at price action. We can tell we was in an up structure. We had a 1 hour break of structure right here. It's our 1 hour BOS. We take our fibs from the top, bring it down here. We did the same thing on regular gold. It didn't quite get up to this area. I hope it do, because if it does, we still have an imbalance right in this area here that price needs to tap. So we can possibly see price to come up to this area right here, and then it can possibly continue to the downside. However, if we don't get that, then I would just set an alert right here around 1760. Let's see, XAUEUR, approaching POI. Okay, so now let's drop it down to the 15 minute, because we always possibly can catch something on the 15 minute as well. So on the 15 minute, let's look at this on the 15. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Break of structure. So hey, you guys, we still actually might get up to this area up here, because look, we got a break of structure on the 15 minute going to the upside. We got a break of structure right here. We're getting a retest. We got a retest that came down to this area right here, mitigated this demand zone right here, right in this area, and then price started to come to the upside. So with that being said, if we drop to the 1 minute, we can tell that from a 1 minute perspective, we had a break of structure on the 1 minute. Okay, right here. Break of structure on the 1 minute. Then from there, we had a retest down to this area right here. Let's see, this small inefficiency in this small order block right here was mitigated. Right in this area right here. Let's see if price got lower than that. It did. Came back to that same zone. It looked like it hit that zone twice. But what we possibly can see right here, this is the 1 minute mitigated zone. What we possibly can wait for on this is if price breaks this area right here, definitely possibly can catch some pips on this joker. If this area gets broken right here, which is a 1 minute breakup structure, and it comes back to give us a retest, you possibly can ride this Nah, I wouldn't be that quick to do it. I wouldn't do it that quick, because that to me, that won't be valid. That won't be validated that much like that. So this area right here, I wouldn't do the 1 minute that fast because the 15 minute didn't break. Let me see something. No, wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. 1 minute breakup. Yeah, I was right. Yeah, if we get this area right here to be broken, let's see, lower high, lower low, lower high. Yeah, this is the right area here. If we get this area to be broken, this is what I want to see. If this area gets broken right here, then I will wait for a retest, and I will literally ride this, possibly ride this all the way up to this area right here. Which in essence, if we look at this, is about 300 some pips. So this breakup structure on the 1 minute is 1793.25. Gold euro 1 minute BOS. I say the reason why I say that is because if we go back to the bigger time frame that we was initially looking at. Wait a minute. Oh, I got way too many alerts going on. Okay. But the reason why I say that is because if we come back to our initial point of interest on the 1 hour, we had this 1 hour breakup structure that we still have to come back up here to test this imbalance. So if we get a breakup structure here, that'll let us know, okay, price is actually starting to come back up. That way we can come up to this area and you know, tap this area and then continue with the overall big picture for the downside. But from the 1 hour perspective, like I said, I'm looking for price to come up to this area and take out this imbalance. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Does that make sense? Okay, good deal. All right, y'all, so that's pretty much what I have for today. Man, I hope this blessed you guys. I hope this helps. And like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and create that that Discord. That way we all can collaborate on different pairs and different things like that. And hey, you guys, I hope everything was great. And I hope y'all have a great week. Let's get it. I'll holler at y'all.